Welcome to 14 Days of Prayer. My name is Tim, and today we're going to look at John chapter 16, verse 33. Jesus is speaking with his disciples and says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, for I have overcome the world. Jesus says, in this world you will have trouble. Feels a bit like stating the obvious. At the same time, we often believe that if we follow Jesus, that our lives should gradually get better. But Jesus dispels that myth right here, which often leads us to ask the question, why? Why do we encounter trouble? Why is this or that happening? This question really is innate in us. You've probably asked it since you were a child. I have 3 kids from the ages of 2 to 6 years old. They love the why question. Why do I need to eat my vegetables, Daddy? Because they're good for you. Why are they good for me? Because they have vitamins and minerals in them which help your body work better. Why do they have vitamins and minerals and help my body work better? Because they do. Just ask your doctor. We love the why question. The problem with the why question is that we may never get an answer to it. We may never know why the world is the way it is today. God does not promise us a response here. And as a result, we can get stuck on this question, always searching for an answer, but never finding it. Sometimes I wonder if the why question isn't the most beneficial question to ask. Maybe there's a better one. Not that we shouldn't ask the question or shouldn't venture into it and ask God, but actually I think a better question to ask would be, God, what do you want me to do now as a result of this circumstance? What this does is open yourself up to God's overcoming power to work in you. Jesus very clearly tells his disciples to take heart. In other words, be encouraged, have confidence, take solace in the fact that we know the end of the story. We may not understand the different parts of the story. We may not know why, but we know what the end of the story is. We know that through Jesus' death and resurrection, we have victory over the pains and troubles of this world. We take heart because we know the end of the story. Recently, I read the story The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to my children. Aslan is the lion who is supposed to win the day. But at one point, he voluntarily gives himself over to the wicked white witch, who actually ends up killing him. At this point, my 6-year-old stopped me and asked if he really died. When I confirmed her suspicion, her eyes grew wide, and she dove into a laundry list of questions as to what was going to happen next. The anxiety grew in her voice for every question. When I responded with a laugh and a smile and said excitedly, "We'll have to see," my response was colored by the fact that I knew the end of the story. I knew that Aslan resurrects and comes back to overthrow the wicked white witch. But she did not like that I wasn't as concerned as she was. In fact, she was frustrated with me. But I knew what she didn't. Even though things seemed dark, hope was just around the corner. This also applies to our lives now. Things might seem dark, but God is victorious. We know God will return and make all things new. Much like my attitude of confidence and excitement in the story of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, we too can be confident, courageous, and excited about the future because of what Jesus has already done. We know the end of the story, so take heart. God is at work. Here are some prayer prompts for you. What trouble are you facing now? With these troubles in mind, express your heart to God. Then ask God, what do you want me to do now? Then listen, write down any thoughts or ideas that come to your mind. Test them against Scripture and ask those close to you to speak into these next steps. God bless you as you pray to Jesus.